Hey, what's going on, guys? Alright, so I'd like to introduce you guys to my shelter system. And basically, is what I like to do is I like to put my entire shelter in a haversack. Because, the first thing that I do whenever I arrive to a camp spot is I make shelter. And then I have my haversack free so I can take scouts and everything else. This particular haversack was actually made by a gentleman by the name of Malcolm. And a lot of the items in my haversack were made by Malcolm. So not only am I going to show you my shelter system, I'm also going to show off some of Malcolm's work, as well as show you where you can find him and everything else, because he makes some really good products. So let me open this thing up and show you what we got. Alright, and this is what I got here. Got my hammock, got multiple lengths of paracord. I got some whoopie slings that were made for me by Brian Robinson, and I'm going to try out for the first time. I got myself some stakes, bungees if I need them, and I've also got a 10x10 ripstop nylon tarp that once again Malcolm made for me. So that is my shelter. Alright, so one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of my lengths of paracord, and I'm actually going to put up my hammock. Now I'm going to show you guys what I do in order to put up a hammock, and then I'm also going to try a new style, and that's going to be using the whoopie slings. I also want to show you guys a trick that I find rather interesting. Not necessarily a trick, but a interesting knot that can be used in with a hammock, or it can be used, in multiple different applications. So I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about in a minute. First of all, let's go ahead and pull this out. Let's get this thing set up, shall we? So the first thing I'm going to do is down at a comfortable level, I'm going to wrap my paracord around, and I'm actually just going to take my paracord and go over the top. Just like that. And then I have an adjustable knot, okay? I can raise this up on the tree as high as I want. And then when I bust camp, it's a slip knot. So it's as simple as that to get it loose. Okay, so we're going to go around our tree just like this. We're going to go over here, under, just like this. And we're going to tuck this in under here, make a little bit of a loop. And then pull it just like that. And you can see that it's 100% adjustable. You're not going to pull that out. That's a slip once again. And then, like I said, all you got to do is pull on it, and it's a slip knot, come right out. Now, if you're worried about it slipping or getting pulled accidentally, just simply take that, put this in through the loop, and now if that gets pulled, it will not pull out. But again, to make it a slip knot, you just remove it, pull it right out. I know that my hammock's going to stretch on me, so I like putting it up relatively high, right above the top of my head. Get that up there where I want it, and we're gonna cinch it down tight, just like that. Then I'm gonna come over, I'm gonna do the same thing on that tree right there. Okay, now so far you've seen just how easy it is to hang your line. And one of the things that I see a lot is people hanging a hammock far too complicated. So I'm going to show you a way that you can do it very easy. So I'm just going to take our hammock, we're going to open this up right quick. And I'm only going to remove the one end, and I'm going to drape the other end right over my shoulder. Now, this hook section here is what we're going to use. Okay, now you've seen people make a toggle knot where they cross it over like this, fold it over, and then pull this section through where they can put like a toggle stick in there. And then when the toggle's removed, it just falls out. Well, that's what we're going to do for our hammock hook. So we're going to bring this over, just like that. Then we'll pull it up, just like that. And then we can put our hook right through there. We do that a little bit better for you in frame. So we're going to fold it over, bring it up, and then we're simply going to take our hook, put it right in there. And then that's going to cinch down on it just like that. And that's not going to slide on you once it's pulled tight. And then once it's tight, like that, in order to get this off, you simply just take your thumb, raise that there, slide it off, and the knot falls right out just like that. And once we think we've got our hammock where we want it, of course you're going to want to sit in it. Make sure that it's all stretched out. You're not going to be riding on the ground and all that good stuff. So we're just going to kind of see how it feels to us, and seems about right for me. So I think we're going to go ahead and continue and set up a ridge line and all that fun stuff. But first, I think we're going to bring Travis Henry over, and he is going to show me how to set up whoopie slings, because I've never done it, and I've showed you my way, so now let's try whoopie slings out and see how that works. Okay, so like I said, got Mr. Travis Henry, Survive Without, and he is going to actually show me how to operate these whoopie slings for the first time, and well, he's going to show you guys how to operate these whoopie slings as well.
Okay. What we got here?
So when they open up, that's just what they look like right there, right?
Yep. We've got a built-in loop in it already.
Okay.
And then this is the bead where it falls through it. And you can slide the rope through to open up this loop to make it bigger. And then when you put tension on the rope, it locks itself like a Chinese finger.
Yeah.
Does over top of it. They're really cool. Very lightweight. Definitely lightweight. And it's like a feather. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and hook this onto the paracord attached to the tree.
Now I've left, you know, the exact same knot that I showed you guys. I've left it. I haven't done anything with it. And I actually believe that Travis, you guys saw the toggle knot that I was using to set up my hammock. I think that you use that same knot for these right here, aren't you?
Yeah, I think this is called the Marlin Spike.
The Marlin what?
Marlin Spike?
See, I don't know
something like
knot
that.
names.
I've been looking them up and trying. I got a book sitting next to my bed.
I just know how to do them. I just don't, I don't know the
right.
names.
But the way I do it is I stick my palm against it.
Yeah.
And then I just twist the rope.
Yeah.
Twist around it. Reach through it. And then just stick the toggle in. Pull it tight on it.
Cool. So let's have Travis show you that one more time.
Okay.
And we're gonna do it up close and slow. I mean, you guys saw how I did it, but you know, this method might work better for you. So, and just reaching through and grabbing it. Very simple.
And then I just pulled it down on it.
Okay.
Now this isn't the built-in loop that's in it.
Uh-huh.
This is the other end that I'm sticking around.
That's the tensioning loop?
This, yeah.
Okay.
And you know, from my experience and from my research, I've noticed that you almost need to stick this behind the knot.
On top, yeah.
Because if you don't, I've fell a few times from it, not doing it. And then that's when I did my a little bit more research on it. Because that binds the rope against it a little bit more.
Now, is that about the thickness of the toggle that you're going to want?
I just use about thumb thick, something like that. And you want to use a hardwood. For Justin, you want to use the crumbliest dead wood you can find on the ground. Okay, I'm just kidding.
Travis just wants to see me fall.
You seen me fall.
And I'm going to assume you're just going to do the exact same thing over on the other tree then?
Yep. We should probably go ahead and do that first, to be honest with you.
And on this, you're not going to actually use the hook, are you?
Well, we don't have to. What I did is I just fed it through. You can undo this knot and feed it through. There's a loop inside here, and then bind it to it. But
or you could probably use the hook or just behind here.
If you wanted to use a toggle behind here, you probably could get away with it. I mean, since you got the hook, I would probably go ahead and use the hook.
Oh, okay.
It just make it easier for the time being.
So you're just hooking it onto the built-in hook.
Yep. Here's the part I love about it after you get this attached to the hammock.
Yeah.
Oh,
you just pull that, huh?
Just want to pull this.
I'll be dang. And it just tightens it up right where you want it.
Right wherever you want it. If you don't want to tighten it any more than that, you can just choose to do that. You can go back to this end and tighten it up a little bit more.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
It makes it easy to adjust it. So if you get in it and you want to adjust it down just a little bit, you can adjust it down. All you got to do is come back up here.
Yeah.
And grab a hold of where the knot is, and it slides right on down.
Awesome.
And I mean, I love this thing.
Wow, that was very easy.
I don't ever trust any of my stuff. Well, there's rocks down here, you know. I fell once the other day. Woo! Woo! I weigh more than you do. Okay. Woo! Think that's funny, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
Okay, so you got it stretched out. So, I mean, where it's sitting right now is probably pretty good, but, you know, is this going to stretch overnight? Like,
it will a little bit.
Okay.
Not as much as it would with
a normal setup.
Yeah, normal setup.
So now you could just get back out, adjust those.
Yeah, I could adjust it up.
Tighten it up a little bit.
Absolutely. You want to raise
Yeah, you can see how the hammock's kind of draped down, so.
You can just pull it back up some more.
That's really cool. And just like that, it's taut again. Well, let's see how Travis did. Let me sit my butt down in this. And
I still want to cut the rope. I hope it like slips on you and falls.
oh, baby. I am so glad you turned me onto the hammock, man. It is way more comfortable than that ground, I am here to tell you. And those whoopie slings that's pretty awesome.
Slick, I love them.
Brian, man, thank you so much for those. That is absolutely awesome. Those things are great. I can't wait to use them more and more. I mean, my setup, the way I showed you guys that I set up, is easy. This is just as easy and takes half the time to adjust it where you want it. So,
there's actually another cool built-in feature with these.
what's that?
Rain wicking.
Ah, good point.
Yeah. That rainwater will eventually collect on there, and then gravity wants to pull it down. So this little bead right here that pops out.
Yeah.
It wants to wick down the.
Right down the tensioning string, huh?
That's right.
Whoopie sling. Saving you from getting wet. And lives. Well, maybe not saving lives, but whatever. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the hammock set up with the whoopie slings and everything else. I put up a ridge line, and with that ridge line, I actually used the same concept as I did with hanging the hammock itself. So now I'm just setting up my tarp. Well, I'm going to set it up in a diamond fashion so that way it expands well past the hammock just in case it rains. This is a 10 by 10 tarp, so I mean I could do it, you know, multiple fashions and it's going to be, you know, plenty long. But like this, I think you can get a little bit more airflow underneath it as well, so which is kind of nice. I mean it's not hot, it's just real muggy. It's about 85 degrees, but we've had a lot of rain and so the humidity's high, so it's not hot, just muggy. Tonight probably dropped back down to about 63, so it should be a pretty pleasant night. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here. I'm just going to throw my line over and under. Then I'm going to go back over, under. And you can actually see I'm actually creating a coil. Okay? It's kind of the same concept as the whoopie slings, in a matter of fact. So I've got three coils there. Then I'm going to go back to the opposite end. Just put a little slip knot in there. And that gives me the ability to pull this taut and it won't pull back on it. That coil tightens up and cinches down, you know, and won't slide on the string unless I come up here and compress it and push it. But as long as it's elongated, it's not going to pull on me. So kind of an interesting little knot. Probably didn't do the best job of showing you how to do that. So if you guys have any questions on exactly how to do that particular knot, then I guess I will be more than happy to show it. Alright, so what I want to do is I actually want to take this corner of my tarp and I want to actually bring it all the way over to that tree right there. So that way is what I can do is I can keep this up and allow some airflow. But the only problem is, as you can see, my tie out doesn't quite reach. So I'm actually going to have to splice a piece of rope or paracord onto this. So let me show you exactly how I do that. Okay, so here's the piece that I actually want to add on to. So I'm going to loop it over just like that. And I'm going to take another piece, you know, just like this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up through the bottom, around the back, and then I'm going to go right back underneath the one that I'm adding, just like that. And then when these things join, they are not going to slip out. Let me show you that again. Okay, so again, just loop it, take this in, straight up through the bottom, around the back, and then right underneath itself right like that. And then you'd pull it tight. Now if you want this thing to be ultra tight, then all you have to do is wrap it right back around itself one more time and back under again, and then pull it just like that. And you are not going to pull that knot out. Now the knot that I'm going to put right here is exactly the one that I showed you when I was putting that coil in my ridge line for my hammock, or excuse me, for my tarp. Now I'm just going to do the exact same thing right here. Anywhere that I want to stake into the ground, I'm actually going to put a couple stakes in, just like that, opposite of each other. That way, it doubles my chance that this thing isn't going to come loose on me and slip one of those stakes. But for the time being, I'm going to focus in on this one right here. I'm just going to bring this, ooh, that's really soft dirt. Let's see if we can bring that out just a little bit. Dirt was very soft, so we just moved it back just a little bit. That's what I've done, is I've come underneath it, just like so. I'm going to come underneath my line, and again, I'm going to wrap this thing around to create a coil, just like that. Everything that I do is usually with a coil system and a quick release. So now, in order to tension that up, all I've got to do is this, and it will tighten that corner up. Like I said, I'm going to put 2 stakes in the ground instead of 1, just like that. Cinch it down. So there you go, got that corner tied up, allow some airflow. Got that back corner tied down. Now as you can see, Malcolm has actually put multiple tie outs on this thing. I want to say there's like 18 altogether, possibly more. Actually, now that I think about it, I think there's actually more than 18. So I mean, you've got plenty of options for versatility and everything else. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through and I'm going to tie it down where I think that it, needs to be tied down and everything else. And really, that's about it. So you can see that my entire sleep system fit into that haversack. So now my haversack is empty. My camp is set up. So now I can actually go out and scout and everything else. Now guys, I know that it's a little bit hard to show knots on film, and some of them probably didn't come out very well. I just don't know until I look at the film. So if there's any of the knots that you are curious about and would like to have a closer look, please feel free to contact me, and I'd be more than happy to show that knot just a little bit closer. I mean, perhaps you want to know how to splice your line a little bit better. Perhaps you want to know this coil system here. Like I said, I don't know the name of knots. Maybe you want to see how I wrap around trees. whatever it is. If you have any questions, please ask. But hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and as always, have a good one. Okay, so you guys saw my hammock setup. Walking over here, and here's what I find. That is a female black widow. Big girl. We've even got an egg sac right there.
Another spider there. He's gonna be lunch for her probably.
Yeah, he certainly will if he gets over here.
And there's spiders all over this tree. Oh, there's another one.
I gotta move your bag. Just saying.
I'm going back to my house.
Yeah, I think I will move my bag. I ain't gonna disturb her. I mean, this is her home. She was here way before me, so